Good afternoon, students. So today we will see the context-free grammar and how to represent the context-free grammar. Now, what do you mean by context-free grammar? As already we have seen, there are the two types of languages. First type of language is called as a regular language. Regular language. Now, this regular language we can represent with the help of the finite automata or the regular expression. This regular language we can represent with the help of the finite automata and the regular expression. Now, second type of language is called as a non-regular language. Non-regular language. Now, this non-regular language cannot be represented with the finite automata and the regular expression. So, means non-regular language we cannot represent with the help of the finite automata and the regular expression. Now, what exactly this regular language? What are the regular language? What are the non-regular language? Now, as I said yesterday, regular language means what? All the strings belongs to that language will have the specific pattern. Will have the specific pattern. And the non-regular language will not have any specific pattern. For example, if we say the set of even numbers, the set of even numbers. So every number belongs to that language will have the +2, +2, +2. Is from the previous one, yes, I can imagine what will be the next alphabet. Okay, that is called as the regular language, even, odd, or squares. So all these sets, all these languages are called as a regular language. Now then, what do you mean by non-regular language? In the non-regular languages, the set, the strings which belongs to that language will not follow the specific pattern. Means there is no specific characteristics they are following. So example of non-regular language, if we are saying the prime numbers, the set of prime numbers, the set of prime numbers. So if I am saying 1 is a prime number, yes, 3 is a prime number, 5 is a prime number, 7 is a prime number. So with the help of this previous, can I assume what will be the next prime number? No, I need to have do some calculations. And after that, I will come up with the next prime number. Okay. Means there is no as such relation between the first and the next. And the next. There is no correlation between these two. Such type of languages are called as a non-regular languages. Clear? So this is very important. Regular language, they follow the same pattern. In a non-regular language, they will not follow the same pattern. That's why we cannot represent this non-regular language with the help of the finite automata and regular expression. Because what will be the next string? That we are not knowing. We have to do some other calculations and then come up with the next string. So we cannot represent non-regular language with the help of the finite automata and regular expression. Then how to represent these non-regular languages? Because it's a language, so we have to represent in some way. We have to write some definition. This is if it is following these characteristics, this is a non-regular language. So how to define these non-regular languages? How to represent these non-regular languages? So for that, we are using a grammar. We are using the grammar. That grammar is called as a context-free grammar. So as we know, grammar is a rules, regulations. So rules we are writing in the form of the equations, in the form of the productions. We are writing the rules. We are representing the grammar in the form of the equations, productions. So context-free grammar is a method of representation of non-regular language. Yes, with the help of this context-free grammar, you can also represent the regular language, but as well as the non-regular language. So CFG, context-free grammar, is useful to represent regular as well as non-regular, languages. That is what your CFG is, context-free grammar. Now this context-free grammar, we are having the rules, grammar in the form of the equation. So this CFG, we can represent with the help of the four tuples, V, T, P, S. We can represent this CFG in the form of the four tuples, square tuple, V, T, P, S. As we are in the finite automata, we are having the states, we are having the transitions, we are having the alphabets. Same way, in the CFG, context-free grammar, we have the four terminologies. First, V stands for the variables, set of variables, set of variables. Okay, T is a set of variables. Always we are representing set of variables with the capital alphabets. That is a notation of representing the variable is with the capital alphabet. Now terminal, second is the terminal. Set of T stand for the set of terminals. Terminals we are representing with the help of the small alphabet, small letters, and the digits. That is called as the terminals. Now the difference between the variable and terminals are variables are replaceable. We can replace something else to the variable. Terminal is a final thing. We cannot replace terminal with other thing. So variable is a replaceable, terminal is not replaceable. So T is the productions. P is the productions. P is the productions. So production means what? The equations, which with the help of which we will derive this language. With the help of which productions, equations will produce this language is called as a production. And the last is the S is your starting symbol. It is a special symbol, starting symbol. Starting symbol. When we are starting deriving the language, deriving the string belongs to that language, we always start with the starting alphabet or starting symbol. So S will be the starting symbol. It's a variable. We can have any starting symbol. So starting symbol is always the subset of the variable. It is itself is a variable. So it will again come into the variable. So these are the four tuples will represent the context-free grammar. Context-free grammar. Now we'll see one example how to derive a language, derive a string with the help of the production. So I think it is clear what is a regular language, what is a non-regular language. CFG is used to represent the non-regular language basically. Yes, regular language as well as the non-regular language. So now we'll see one example with the help of which we'll try to understand the concept of the context-free grammar. Suppose the givens are the productions. Givens are the productions. Suppose we are having the S is equal to A1B, A0A, A tends to epsilon, B tends to 0B, B tends to, B produces 1B, and B produces epsilon. Now these are the 5 productions, these are the 6 productions given. So first production S produces A1B, A produces 0A, A produces epsilon, B produces 0B, B produces 1B, and again B produces epsilon. So these are the 6 productions are given, 6 equations are given, productions are given. Now this, if we see A produces 0A, A produces epsilon. These two we can also write like this: A produces 0A, A produces 0A, or epsilon. A produces 0A or epsilon. These two production we can combine to just minimize the length. Same way, this B production I can write like this: 0B or 1B or epsilon. So this is just a method of writing the productions. So in a single line, I can write these 3 productions because B can be replaced by 0B, B can be replaced by 1B, B can be replaced by the epsilon. Okay. So these are the productions given. These are the productions given. Now the question is derive string 1001. Derive string 1001. So this 101 string I have to derive with the help of these productions. With the help of this production. This is my problem statement. Now how to solve this? How to solve this? So what is our job? To derive the string 1001 with the help of this production. Now first of all we will write the CFG. We will write the CFG. So as we know, CFG means what? V, T, P, S. Variables, terminals, productions, and starting symbol. Now here in this case, what are the variables? In these productions, what are the variables? The variables are represented with the capital letters. They always come on the left hand side. They always come on the left hand side. So the variables will be S, A, B. So these are the three variables in this production. Now second is the terminals. What are the terminals in this production? So terminals are the digits or the small letter alphabets. We cannot be expanded. So here 1 is a terminal, 0 is a terminal, epsilon is a terminal. Okay. So we'll have the epsilon is a one terminal, 0 is another terminal, third terminal is 1. So we'll have the three terminals here. Productions are the given. These are productions are already given. These are the productions and the S starting symbol. In this case, I'm using the S variable as a starting symbol, so it will be S as it is. So this is what your starting symbol. This is what your CFG for this language given productions. Now we have to produce the different strings for this language. So first, in the initial way, we have to check whether this 1001 belongs to this productions. Means with the help of this production, can I generate this 1001? That is my first task. Now 1001 I can produce by two ways. Means there are the two methods to write the derivation. How I am deriving the string. The methods, two methods. The first method is called as a sentential form. The first method is called as a sentential form, where I will produce in the form of the equation. Now second method is called as a parse tree. Second is called as a parse tree.